caught me in the act there. So, good evening. Hope everyone's had a wonderful Monday. Just wanted to go through this Granit Xhaka story. Emery's still not been sacked, so we're lumbered with him by the looks of it for at least another day. You never know, maybe tomorrow. There's a lot of stories coming out of Arsenal at the moment, quite a lot of stories, but I'm going to do another stream later on at 9 o'clock tonight. Less than 100 subs to 30k, so thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And if you're not subscribed, obviously you can do that. But yeah, Emery's not been sacked yet. There's a story that I might go with later on about the captaincy and stuff like that, but we'll see. But Granit Xhaka is linked with AC Milan. He was linked with Inter Milan in the summer. I would have thought that was a deal that might have possibly gone through as well, but it didn't materialise. And what with all the hoo-ha of the 5 captains, him being the main one of the 5, and then obviously we all know what happened. We don't need to go through that again. He's then come out with the statement 5-6 days later, whatever it may have been. He's not featured since. He said apparently Emery said that he's not ready, or he said that he asked not to play because he wasn't quite ready. Now, Granit Xhaka himself has posted on his Instagram today him getting out of a car, getting in preparation for the international game. So he's clearly ready to play football. He just don't want to play for Arsenal right now, which I find a little bit baffling. I think it's a little bit, I don't know, like, why don't he want to play for Arsenal? Obviously, we all understand that he came off, he got jeered, he got booed, and all of that. But he's got to come back at some point, surely. Or is he just going to sit and collect his weekly wage and then bugger off? Whether the club have fined him or not is still not clear. They have obviously docked him of being the captain. That's now gone to Aubameyang. But the way I look at it is this, right? For me, he's never been good enough. He's definitely not a captain. 100% ain't a captain. I know he's captain of Switzerland, but sorry, you ain't Arsenal captain, mate. Well, he definitely ain't now anyway. But he's never, ever, ever been good enough to play for the club, in my opinion. And we could have signed N'Golo Kante, and that still hurts that we didn't, for less money as well. The overall package for N'Golo Kante was more in terms of wages, which is why we went for Granit Xhaka. And I'm not going to sit here and go in on Xhaka and this and that. I've done that before. There's no point in doing that. But when I see him post up that picture on his Instagram earlier on this afternoon, I thought, hang on a minute. You told Emery that you can't play at the weekend. You're not ready to play and this and that. And listen, his head might be all over the place. Who knows? But it's not as bad as we might think it is, because he's now flown off to go and play the international game for Switzerland. So is he just trying to mug us off here? Is that what he's doing? Because if he does come back, I said this the other night, he's going to get a weird reception if he comes back. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are really angry with him. And I think he's probably worried about that. He's probably scared about that. Well, he was scared at Watford, so I'm sure he is scared about that. And I think that it's a bit of a weird situation because, I've not seen a club captain throw the armband down before on the floor. I've not seen that. People might have seen it. I've not seen that. I've seen a captain sit on the floor crying, William Gallas. I've seen that. But I've never seen a club captain throw the armband on the floor and just totally disrespect the club the way he did that. And, I've said before, I'm not one to sit there and boo players at a ground. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I'd boo the opposition players, obviously, and you have a go at the opposition players, but you don't do that to one of your own on match day. That's just my opinion on it. If people want to do that, that's entirely up to them. But if he's not going to leave, at some point, he's got to play games. Surely, at some point, he's going to play games again. So what's he waiting for? If he trained, he trained all week. Emery said that. He was in training and he said that he wasn't ready to play a game. And now he's gone off to international duty and he's about to play a game. And I just think that's a total bit of, again, another bit of disrespect, because I'm not saying I'm a fan of his or anything like that, but at least make yourself available, because you've made yourself available for international. And, the club haven't stood in his way in doing that. With Tierney, we said, look, can you just drop him? Just let us have him back. Same with Pepe, we've done it. Twice this season we've done it with them too. So we could have quite easily said, well, hang on a minute, we don't want him to go on international duty, blah, blah, blah. The club clearly haven't done that, which is why he's going. But then to post up the picture on his Instagram is just, listen, I see it, I didn't comment comment on it because that's I'm just not like that. I read through the comments. Some of them are a disgrace, but the fact that he's linked to AC Milan this time round, I think could probably be the best move for both parties. Maybe stick him in the reserves, maybe not play him. I don't know, but either way, we are going to be paying him a fortune between now and when he leaves. That's if he does leave. What's the fee going to be? I'm not so sure, but I'd say we'll probably recoup most of it, if not all of what we spent on him, which was a stupid fee in the first place. 35 million. He's never a 35 million pound footballer. So I hope that it does happen, and I hope that it happens in January because if he does play games again for this club, it's going to turn real nasty, I think, and very nasty. Listen, we all see what happens when he got jeered and booed and all that, and the fact that he doesn't want to come back yet would suggest that he is upset about it still. But at the same time, if you're apparently a leader and you've got a strong character, then surely you just go, do you know what? I'm going straight back in. I'm going to take it and I'm just going to move on. It's going to be difficult, but I'm going to roll my sleeves up and I'm going to get stuck in and I'm going to shut all of these people up that are booing me by playing really, really well. Instead, he hasn't done that. He's offered nothing, literally nothing. He's offered a half-assed statement that was basically an excuse rather than an apology. Then he's gone into the German media and said that he stands by what he did. But he's happy in London. He doesn't want to leave London. His wife's happy in London. And blah, 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 blah. All the generic rubbish that these players come out with. And if AC Milan do buy him, thank you very much. Please do. Ivan Gazidis, come and get him. Yeah, because he's not been good for us. I don't care what anyone says. Like, my opinion on him is he is not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. He never has been. And can anyone name 5 great games he's had or 3 great games he's had in 3.5 years? Because I can't, And I genuinely don't get what anybody sees in that guy. He's too quick. Too slow to be in that position in midfield. You need somebody with 2 feet that can do a job properly, quickly, and efficiently, and he can't do any of that. And hopefully he does go. Which does remind me, I will be doing the transfer updates again very soon. Maybe towards the end of this month, I'll start them up again because there is a lot of transfer news out there at the minute. Obviously, January's coming up. It's not a million miles away now. So yeah, I might start them up maybe towards the end of this month and get going again on them. But leave in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Do you think it is going to happen into AC Milan? Obviously, Inter Milan were linked in the summer, and they were linked towards the back end of the summer. So to get that done was probably unlikely. But I do think that this time around, I think it's probably the best that he does go for both parties, for him and for us. He's just going to get more and more stick, I think, if he comes back. And he ain't good enough. So we get rid of a player that ain't good enough and he gets the no stick. He goes to AC Milan and maybe he looks good because it's a slower league. You get more time on the ball. You don't get pressed so much. And you never know. He might actually look half decent out there like he did in Germany. But there we go. Anyway, let's keep this moving and read out some of these comments. Lee, what's your dream signing in January? Says Laka Blood Clot Z. Dream signing. Jose Mourinho. That's my dream signing. He's better in China or the States, says Magrin. Xhaka is a midfield maestro. Bro, if you're on a wind-up, I'm telling you. Since we're Arsenal, we'll keep both him and Emery around, unfortunately, says Bilaz. Well, listen, there's no talk right now of Emery going. So yeah, it's not looking promising, is it? And the thing is, obviously it's international break now. This, for me, would be the ideal time to get rid of him. You can go and give it to everyone. I said this on my streams yesterday when I talked about it, and it is the ideal time. We've got a lot of players that are not on international duty. So, you can go and work with them. You can get your philosophy in very quickly over the next 2 weeks, drill the players how you want to drill them. And then the ones that come back off of international duty, you can filter them in. So, yeah, I think it is the ideal time to get rid of him. I think that after backing the guy for 18 months, when you look back and sit back at it and analyse it properly, the last 8 games of that season were a disgrace. But then we obviously got Europa League final and we got mugged off there as well. So I was like, okay, cool. We're going to the new season. He's had 140 million quid and let's go again. We were very close to top 4. We should have got it. We got to the Europa League final. But this season's been a joke. It has been an absolute joke. We've won 1/4 of our league games. Sorry, 1/3 of our league games. 1/3 of our league games we've won this season, which is not good enough for Arsenal. London is blue. Well, it's not really, is it, MC? Would you take the Wolves manager, says Tero? Yes, I would. I think he's a very good manager. Some of your comments, man, I can't even read half of these out. Afternoon, VP. You're asking me about podcasts. Hope you're having a good day, mate. Yeah, I was supposed to get Wi-Fi fitted today, and believe it or not, there's no phone line in this building. So they're coming back tomorrow to fit a phone line. I don't know if they're fitting the Wi-Fi tomorrow as well, but I'd assume they are. So hopefully tomorrow, once I get that sorted, then I'll be getting in contact with people about doing a podcast. It probably won't be how I wanted to do it, by going and seeing them and stuff like that, and do it face to face. So it might be a live stream like this. But yeah, it's definitely something I'm going to start doing again. I don't even feel like we're going to win our next 3 games. So there's 10 rules of the game. Well, listen, the next 3 games, we've got Southampton. If we don't win that game, Jesus Christ, man, we're in worse state than I thought we were. Even though you want Mourinho, what do you think about his last year at United, though? Well, his last year at United is probably still better than under Ollie Solskjaer right now. Listen, they've got players at that football club, like us, that are not good enough, nowhere near good enough. There's a lot of players at Man United that do not warrant wearing a Man United shirt, and he was crying out for a centre-back, a proper centre-back. They never got him one. So, I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, people can go on about this and that about Jose. Give it to him for 2 years. He changed the mentality. Didn't get rid of him. Emery will turn it around just like Wenger did for his last 10 years. Benitez would be the best. Listen, a lot of people have said Benitez, and I like Benitez. I think he's a good manager. But when does the guy ever break a contract? It's highly unlikely that he's breaking a contract. He's under contract now, isn't it? So I don't think he'll be coming in anytime soon. Do you think we'll sign up a Mancano in January? Says Joshua. Hopefully, mate. We've actually got, I see this as well, right? We've actually got a negative goal difference. We're -1 goal difference, right? And I see somebody sent me this on Insta the other day. Lewandowski has scored more goals, or the same amount of goals as Arsenal, in 1 less game. Figure that out. Jose didn't change the mentality at Man United, says Little Ann. Well, he did, because they hadn't won anything since Fergie left, and he won them a trophy in his first season with a dead team. So I think he did. Our club is not being run right, says Akaba. Totally agree. Listen, I said this last night on stream, right? It's got to this point where Emery's not good enough, and it's been his fault. He's picking the wrong teams and this and that, right? But at the same time, there's now a cut-off point for me. It's no longer his fault. It's now the board's fault for keeping him there. So if he's still there for Southampton and we don't get a positive result in that game, the pressure's going to mount again. Then we're going to the Eintracht Frankfurt game again. Then we're going to Norwich away. They're currently bottom of the table, by the way. So they're the next 3 games. And, the board have got to make a tough decision. All the stories are coming out saying that we're not going to sack him, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. But at the end of the day, if we don't sack him and we lose 2 of the next 3 games, let's say we lose both of them Premier League games, or we get draws in both of them Premier League games, all of a sudden we're about 14th in the table. So I'd sack him now. He's got to go. Xhaka is going to join Ivan. Evening, Ilias. Well, hopefully he does. Listen, I can't wait for him to go, mate. There's a few that I can't wait to go. And I think he's one of them. Yeah, he's got to go. Yeah, even if we get £25 million for him, snap their arms off, take it, thank you, and goodbye. Nearly 500 people watching this live. Do subscribe if you're new. Less than 100 people away from 30k. So that'd be massive for me. Thank you very much. And do drive the likes up as well. I will be back at 9 o'clock as well. I'm going to wrap this up in a minute because I'm absolutely starving. I need to go and get something to eat. So I will do a few more of these. You promised he'd get sacked today. I didn't promise. I said I reckon he'd get sacked today. And I actually said it should be where it will be this week. I'm hoping it will be this week. Daniel says, listen, brother, I get asked that question every week. I don't know if you've noticed or whether you just started watching my stream today, bruv. I live in Spain. Yeah, I live in Spain. Yeah, come on, bruv. Unless you're paying for my flights back every week to watch Arsenal, I won't be going on it. What are you going to eat? Probably paella. I do like a bit of paella. I swear. You don't ask the same questions every day, man. It's getting funny. But like seriously, I answer the questions all the time. Just go and watch the old streams. Would you have Steven Gerrard as manager? No way in a million years. I'd take Antonio Conte. Evening to you, Sergio. Thank you for your donation as well, buddy. Well, Antonio Conte's won a Premier League. The second season it didn't go to plan, but you never know. You never know. Right, let's just clear a couple of these things up so that I'm never, ever going to answer them again. YouTube's my full-time job. I said that about week 2, 3 weeks, whatever it was ago. Yeah. And I live in Spain. And that's why I won't be appearing on a.f.c anytime soon. So screenshot that, screen grab it, keep it, do what you got to do with it. Now you don't need to ask me again. But thanks for your concern. I do appreciate it. I don't want Luis Enrique for everyone asking me that as well. I don't think he's good enough. We want Freddie as our leader. Afternoon to you, Paul. I hope you're good, mate. Definitely not Freddie. No, not for me. I know you like Freddie, but maybe as interim. Maybe stick him in as an interim manager right now. But nah, not for me. We need somebody tried, tested, proven, elite, and got that mentality that it's just going to be a case of bang, we're going to go and win stuff, or at least challenge. Freddie's got no track record apart from doing it with the kids. So there we go. Not for me. I see that Arteta's linked to us today as well, and RVK says about Arteta again, another one. Don't want him anywhere near the club. Don't want him anywhere near. Just because he's sat next to Pep Guardiola for 3 years, don't mean he's any good. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, not for me. I don't see the fascination with Arteta, says Daniel. Well, neither do I, mate. It's because he's Spanish and he sits next to Pep and they win everything. People think he's suddenly going to be the best thing in the world. Not for me. You need a proven manager with a track record of winning trophies. Sudakar says Mourinho. That's my choice all day long. Mike Dean for manager. Evening, Mike Dean. Right, I'm going to do a few more of these. I'm going to get out of here. Do drive the likes up. 91 of you have done that right now. 540 people watching live. I will be back at 9 o'clock as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. There's a few stories. I don't know which one to run with yet, but I'm going to have some paella and then I'll sit down and decide which one I'm going to do. Thoughts on the Ornstein article? Loads of you have asked me that. To be honest, I couldn't care less. I genuinely couldn't care less. Literally couldn't care less. There we go. That's my thoughts on it. Would you take Niko Kovac, says Ilias? No chance. He got spanked 5-1 the other night. Not for me, mate. Estrella and Paella. Come on, bruv. All day long. Jas Smith. All day long. I love a bit of Estrella. How's your Spanish? I'm getting there, man. This app I downloaded 6. So yeah, I'm getting there. It's getting on all right. I could actually hold a conversation with the guys from Morristow who come around to try and install Wi-Fi today. So yeah, it's going all right. All right, I'm going to do 3 more and I'm gone. I don't want Patrick Vieira. I don't want any ex-player to be manager of this football club. The board are backing Emery until the end of the season, regardless if we don't improve, says Ilias. Well, we'll see. We'll see. There's only a certain amount that fans will deal with before they actually start talking with their feet and not going to games. And that worked to get the last manager sacked. Excuse me. So that could well be the way to get this one out. You know, empty stadium FC was a big thing under the last season of Wenger. And ultimately, that probably was the final nail. So yeah, we'll see what happens. If we don't beat Southampton, it's going to be really toxic, unfortunately. Evening to you, Ryan, Arsenal. Thank you, mate. We need a serial winner that will sort our team out. January, we need 2 proper midfielders, a physical DM like Decore and Danilo Pereira from Porto. Then Banega at Sevilla. I'm not sure about Banega, but yeah, the other 2. I think Banega's knocking on a little bit now, but thanks for your comment, Lysander. I do agree, we do need midfielders. Midfield's our biggest issue, in my opinion. Definitely not Wenger in for you saying Wenger in. Spineless board won't take decisive action to show Emery the door. Well, listen, let's hope they do. And let's hope that they also get rid of Granit Xhaka in January. Like I said, he is linked to AC Milan. So let's hope that does happen. And let's hope that he can go. And like I said, it'll probably be a good move for him. It'll be a great move for us. So I will be back at 9 o'clock. I'm going to go and get some food. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Sorry if I didn't read out all the comments. There was loads, so can't go through them all, obviously. Do drive the likes up. Subscribe if you're new. Very, very close to 30,000, like less than 100. So I do always appreciate that. And I'll be back at 9 o'clock. Laters, peeps.